Hello, it's Deborah from the attic, and today I want to talk you through letter locking. This is something that can be used for your journals. It's something that I stumbled across 2 or 3 years ago, having seen letter locking as used by Mary Queen of Scots to keep her communications completely secret. And of course, letter locking was a great way of doing that before envelopes had been invented. And so in today's video, we're going to talk about ways that you can create secret pockets for your journals in different sizes. And it's just like paper origami, but I've got an example of a way that we can do this nice and simply. I'm going to keep this video nice and brief, and if you watch to the end and you enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up. That really helps with those weird little algorithms. And if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back, or if you're new here, please subscribe. This is what we're going to make. Something that uses these two little triangles to interlock under the folded sheets there. I'm going to run through this twice, so don't worry about pausing and rerunning the video, because once you know how to do the 3 key folds involved, you'll be absolutely fine. But I will run through it twice just to make sure that you've got it. You can use any paper that you have. I am using papers from my Summer Calm downloadable journal kit, and I'll provide a link in the corner up there so you can see what that kit looks like, and I'll also provide a link below the video where you can find where to buy that on my Etsy shop. Our first action is to fold the paper in half long ways. You can finger press, or you can use a bone folder or a ruler. Open the sheet out. Use this as your guide and fold one side of the paper into a triangle shape. Using this as our guide again, we're going to fold this side up. After each fold, really go in and make those edges crisp. We're going to take the top corner and we're going to turn it down to this corner. And our final fold on this side is we're going to take this corner, we're going to actually stretch it out to this part of the page, and then we're going to line it up against this edge. It's easier to show you than to explain. Can you see I'm just folding that over, so I've got a little triangle that pops out onto this side. And line up the edge with your earlier edge. We're going to do the same folds again, but this time we're going to start the other way up. We're going to start with this piece folding up in this direction. Keep those folds as sharp as you can. This is our third fold. We're taking it back up to the top again. And then this is the final fold where we take a triangle over this edge. I'm just going to pop this little bit out. It doesn't matter if when you're folding it this is under or on top. I'm going to pop it out the top because I want you to see how these two triangles match up with each other. So we're going to do our fold again to create this little triangle that sits over this edge. This is how you want it to end up. You want your two triangles that sit over the top of the opposite page to be able to lift up independently of each other. In other words, they're not sitting on top of each other, and you want their points to line up with this central line here. This is why I like this particular version of letter locking, because it's very elegant. You just pop those triangles under the opposite flap. In this version I've made it ever so slightly smaller, and I've also inked the edges just to give it more of a vintage look. And also I've glued in the centre a matching piece of paper. That's just so that when you open it out you've got a pattern on the inside. Of course you could print these papers double-sided so you had a nice pattern on both sides. For the purposes of our demonstration, I think it's easier that I've got one side that's plain and one side that's patterned. So in here you could put some private journaling, and then to seal it up, follow the folds. And the folds go opposite each other. And once again, tuck them into the opposite side. This version is slightly larger than these two, and I've inked the edges, but it's exactly the same principle. You can make your little locked letters to yourself as small and as fiddly as your fingers can cope with. The only rule you need to remember is that your paper needs to be rectangular and the height needs to be half the length. So if your length is 10 inches or 10 centimetres, then your height needs to be 5 inches or 5 centimetres. I'm going to rerun the demonstration using a piece of paper that already have the folds in it, just to save you rewinding the video. We begin with a fold like this in half. That creates our centre line here, and against this centre line we put all the rest of our folds. On this side, you start whatever is the opposite of the way you started on this. This one started where I folded the top down, so on this side I'm going to fold from the bottom up. And we're done. Do give it a go and let me know how you get on in the comments section below the video. I read all of your comments. It's always really interesting to see what you thought of videos, and if you've got any ideas for things you'd like to see me doing on this channel, then please include that in your comments as well. I'd be really interested. For now I'm going to say thank you very much as always for your time, and until we meet again, stay safe and take care.